ヘビー長官ユナイテッドエンパイア今日は試合があったそして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよみんなブローケンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome, our Broken Predictions champion. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great.
That's excellent to hear, as always. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 120 with our AEW Dynamite review. This was the AEW Dynamite from the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. I think you mentioned it earlier in Discord, Rome, that this was part of the expanded schedule of AEW on the West Coast. And my goodness, Phoenix, Arizona, the crowd was absolutely ready to go tonight, man. That crowd, I was blown away. From the very beginning of that show, I was blown away at how loud they were.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it a lot, right? Like, this is why you tour. This is why you go to more places. You can't rely on Texas. You can rely on Texas, but like you can't just rely on Texas forever. The tri-state area can only do so many shows in a row. Like, obviously those are your two hot areas. You know, you got to go around. You got to do more. And I think this is right here. Like, this was Phoenix's first AEW show, and they were clearly starved for it. I was looking at WrestleTix on Twitter today, and I saw the ticket sales. I saw how many seats that they filled. They filled about 7,000 in there today.
Wow.
Yeah, about 7,000 fans, and it's like, man, like that's what you got to do. You gotta run these a little bit bigger venues. You gotta don't come look. I love AEW, and we go to AEW every time they're in town, but like, you gotta spread it out. You can't just do Philly twice a year. You can't just do Texas. You know what I mean? Like, or 3 times a year, whatever it ends up being. It's like, you just gotta have a little bit more variety in your schedule, and you're seeing the benefits of it.
Yeah, completely agree. Man, you can't really say it enough, but massive props to the Phoenix crowd tonight. If anybody in our chat just so happened to have been there, you guys were incredible. We started off with the All-Atlantic Championship between Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. And man, I don't know why we didn't think this was going to be as amazing as it was. Well, I guess I can't really speak for you. But I knew this was going to be a good match, but I didn't think this was going to be like, holy shit, this was a great match. Like, I was blown away at how good this match was. So good.
So, let me tell you something, Jeff. So I'm sitting there, right, and this match starts, and a couple minutes into the match, I was so hyped. Dropped my phone. It fell through my couch, and I was like, "There's no chance I'm getting this phone until the end of the match."
I was wondering where you were.
Yeah, I dropped my phone, and so the way my couch is, because right now my phone doesn't have a case on it, so it's it's a slim phone.
Oh yeah.
So it fell out of my pocket and went down into the couch, and I'm just like, well, I'm not
seeing that for 20 minutes.
My eyes are not leaving my television right now. But what's up, Red Rum? Red Rum here in the chat saying what's up.
Red Rum and the Coog, welcome. So I got a really quick question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
At what point did the 20-minute time limit pop into your head, or did Excalibur put it into your head? I literally looked over at the wife and I was like, there's a 20-minute time limit. This might go to the end. And then Excalibur started saying it like the moment I finished my sentence.
So I was so into this match that like I didn't even think about the 20-minute time limit. Like this was such a well done match in general that it never even crossed my mind. Juhas is here as well. What's up, Juhas?
Yo.
I'm excited to go to this New Japan show with Juhas in 2 months. This is gonna be fun. Ringside. Never been
I'm kind of
ringside.
jealous, actually.
Yeah, I jumped on the tickets so quickly, and then afterwards, Juhas was like, "Is Jeff going?" I was like, "Fuck, I forgot to ask him."
Oh, no, it's all good. I don't think I would have been able to, because I'm taking a bunch of time off from work later on, but, no big deal.
But yeah, so I'm excited to go to that, especially after Battle in the Valley. Man, what a great show! I know we're talking about
Yeah,
EW.
that was a great show, too.
Oh, such a good
But
show. Although, quick rant, tangent, sorry. They should probably stop doing shows on Fight TV. They should probably stop. I sat there with the Coog
Oh,
and
yeah.
sat there for 45 minutes staring at like a mosaic. You would think it's a piece of art. Just a still.
The old jumbled screen.
It wasn't even jumbled. If you look on the Discord, Jeff, you can see what we were looking at for 45 minutes. But it was just a weird thing of red and blue just kind of streaking down, and it was very annoying. So I would say New Japan, maybe just stream your shows, even the US ones, on New Japan World. That's just,
Yeah.
I would just do that. You already have your own service. There's no reason to use Fight TV in the States. Like, I get it, but I wouldn't do it again.
All good.
Anyways, this match, Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta. This match was just incredible. Just fucking incredible. Love the storyline. Love the storytelling. Just
how their friends turned enemies. Absolutely great.
Right, friends turned enemies. The history was there.
You replaced me with a clown. That was so good.
They were very smart to show the history between these two guys, leading back, to 2021, because people forget, how long this went back. And we see what I really think is the heel turn of the Blackpool Combat Club. I think you see that tonight, both with Mox at the end of the show, and then also even Claudio. Claudio's demeanor was completely that of a heel, and he
absolutely
kind of influenced Wheeler Yuta to be the same. Wheeler went in there trying to wrestle Orange Cassidy, and he rolls out of the ring. Claudio comes up, he just slaps him in the face. He's like, "You get the fuck back in there and you fuck this guy up." At which case he does. He attempts to anyway.
Yeah, the slap really got Yuta back on track. He was kind of just he was letting Orange Cassidy control the match, with all of his roll-ups and his, a little bit of goofy wrestling and stuff like that. This was incredible, man. Orange Cassidy gets thrown over the timetable. I thought we were gonna get ourselves a shout out, but he just went over the timetable, not through it. The seatbelt, man. How often have you seen Wheeler Yuta put somebody in the seatbelt and not get the 1, 2, 3? I think it happened twice tonight.
Yeah, it's a very protected pinfall.
Yeah, and Orange Cassidy kicked out of it twice. Wheeler Yuta had to kick out of it once. I know Orange Cassidy put him into the seatbelt once. But man, I really thought they were gonna hit that 20-minute time limit. And if anybody actually was timing it on a timer, I bet you there were only seconds left here. Excalibur mentioned it once, about 4 minutes left in the match, like, oh, this is a 20-minute time limit, will they go the distance? And I was already thinking it. I was like, holy moly, they've gone 15 minutes now. And it was an absolutely incredible 15 minutes. The pace never slowed down. Even during the commercial, these guys were still kicking the shit out of each other. I mean, I can't say enough about these two. We got a beach break countered into a pile driver for a 2.9. The seatbelt, the first one, for a 2.9. Orange punch for a 2.9. Another seatbelt. We had a beach break with a 2 count. Another huge orange punch with Wheeler Yuta on his knees, basically just like, come on. Kind of their old Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels, just like, give it to me type thing. And we got the huge orange punch for the 1, 2, 3. This was incredible. And then even after the match, Orange Cassidy stands up and he's, showing that he wants a hug. He's like, come on, Yuta, let's hug it out. And they cut over to Claudio standing on the ramp, and Claudio's like, get your ass over here. You see, he points his finger down onto the ramp, and Wheeler Yuta just, walks out of the ring, and he's gone. No hug. This was incredible, man. The storytelling is here. The Blackpool Combat Club is obviously going heel. Like, I knew it immediately from this match right here. I was like, oh, great. We're going to have a heel Mox later tonight. This is going to be fantastic. This was great. This was an amazing start to Dynamite, and I think it's just what it needed, over the past couple weeks, right?
Yeah, obviously we've talked about it. Dynamite hasn't been the best the last few weeks. There's definitely been a lot of opportunities left on the table, just some missed points, some not as great segments. And because of that, I think some people really think that the build-up to Revolution has suffered. I think that tonight blew all of those thoughts and concerns out of the water. I mean, I think you have to. I mean, it's just such a great episode of Dynamite. And this match was just, it was incredible. Love the storytelling. I'm fully aware that I come on this podcast with my agenda of the guys that I think are the guys. I'm gonna keep saying it, but like, man, I'm happy that everyone has put some fucking respect on Orange Cassidy's name. This guy, man. I remember I was like, man, this is the guy.
The Coog makes a good point. Claudio called him over like a boy, the disrespect. Can you picture Claudio as oh god, his name's escaping me now, but from God of War, Atreus, call get over here, boy. Oh, that's great.
He went running.
Yeah, he did. He like immediately ducked his head down and ran over to Claudio.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we continued right on with this absolutely incredible beginning to Dynamite with Ricky Starks heading to the ring wearing a absolutely fantastic suit. What?
You missed one.
What'd I miss?
You missed Evil Uno and Hangman.
Oh, okay, there's a little Evil Uno and Hangman promo. Yeah. Okay, you actually didn't write anything for that. You want to go ahead real quick?
Yeah, man, I'm surprised you didn't. I thought this was actually really good. So basically, Evil Uno and Hangman are in the locker room. And Hangman's like, don't go through with this with Mox. And Uno basically says, like, you saying that just tells me that the Dark Order isn't on your level. Uno tells Hangman, you stay out of this. He's like, you don't know what it's like. It's time for us to stick up for ourselves. And man, Evil Uno is on a fucking roll right now.
Hell yeah, he is.
I gotta give it to him. Again, I'm always gonna be honest. I'm always gonna keep it real. Always gonna say, man, after fucking 2 years of being on life support, Evil Uno, man, he's back.
I'm telling you guys were this close tonight to me wearing the Evil Uno mask for the podcast here tonight. But unfortunately, I need to see my notes, so when I get some contacts one day, maybe we'll see that happen.
Wait a second. We went to an AEW show once, and you wore the Uno mask like the whole night. So are you telling me you didn't see anything that night at AEW?
No, so that was about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and my eyes have gotten much worse since then because it's gotten a little worse since then.
Old man Jeff, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a gimmick. I forgot.
But I will admit it was even a little blurry the night we were there, but luckily I was able to see. We weren't that far away.
Yeah.
So next up was the incredible Ricky Starks segment here. Ricky Starks comes to the ring. It looks like he's got something like a contract in his pocket, and obviously that is what it was. We had massive Ricky chants. Coach Nick up in the chat, massive Ricky Starks fan. What up, Coach? So Ricky Starks says he's done with Chris Jericho and he's got an open challenge. He's got a contract in his pocket for an open challenge. And I looked over at the wife, again, I was like, if Jericho comes out right now, the crowd is going to hate this because he just said, I'm done with Jericho. But the way that it happened. I don't know why, but it came off absolutely amazing to me. And I feel like it put this right back on track to where I believe we know this is going to be the end of it at Revolution. We know this is going to be the end of it. So we don't have to be like, oh my God, we need this JAS thing to end. We know it's going to end now. So now I was really invested in this promo, how Ricky had this contract and he flat out tricks Jericho into just signing this thing easily. The funniest part, Jericho's like, I don't have a pen. And Ricky's like, oh, damn, I do. And the way he whips out the pen and holds it there for a second. And then Jericho holds it for a second. And Jericho finally hits the click and the crowd goes fucking nuts. Dude, I lost my shit. I was smiling ear to ear like a little 8-year-old kid, dude. I thought this was the best thing ever. Jericho signs the contract and hands it back to him and explains how nobody is smart enough to get one over on Jericho. And the most evil, amazing, maniacal smile comes over Ricky Stark's face. I loved this more than I can tell you, dude. The only thing I didn't get was what was on that contract. We know that there was something good written in that contract. I wanted to get it now, but I can't wait to find out what's on there. I can't wait.
Well, I don't know if there's anything else on there necessarily, although I do think that they could do a stipulation match.
It has to be. There's more than just a match. He tricked him into signing it without reading it. There has to be.
I think he just wants the match, and he got what he wanted. He wants the JS banned from ringside.
Bro, this is gonna be like a crazy cage match. There's gonna be something crazy. I know it. I can feel it. If it's just a normal match, I'm gonna be like, oh.
I just would say, prepare yourself. I do think it's a regular match. They already have a death match on the card. They already have an Iron Man match on the card. They have stipulation matches up and down the card a little bit already. So I don't even think we have the full card yet. I don't think we're there yet. So I would say kind of temper yourself for that because I don't want you to be disappointed. Originally I was not a fan of this promo. I thought it was kind of a waste of time at first because Jericho said he's done last week. He's like, yeah, I'm done with Ricky. And then Ricky says tonight, I'm done with Jericho. And I'm like, all right, well, so the feud's over, boys. They're both done with each other. And so Ricky's like, I have an open contract for the pay-per-view. And I'm like, oh, is Tony Khan course correcting here and just saying let's just do something different? But then no, they don't. So Jericho comes out. Jericho's like, I'm done with you. I told you I was done with you. And I'm like, okay, Jericho, if you're done with it, then leave. Peter Avalon
that's what I said.
Peter Avalon comes out and everyone pops for Peter. Jericho hits him with the Judas effect. Jericho's mad as hell. Goes down to the ring, and yeah, like you said, Ricky worked Jericho. He tricked him. Jericho's like, I would sign it, but I don't have a pen. Ricky's like, oh damn, I do. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Loved it.
Great performance from Ricky tonight. Great job from Ricky. Great job from Chris Jericho as well. And I just love, Jericho is just the genius that he is. He does the list thing where he goes click, and just the whole crowd blows up.
That was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I just love the shot of Jericho's outside the ring looking like, yeah, I got this guy right where I want him. And Ricky's like, do you?
That smile from Ricky, man, it was so good. So good. Yeah, Wonder if I could find.
I'm still of the opinion that this feud has generally been pretty bad, and I want them to move on from it. But this was a very good segment. I think all in all, this was very good.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up, we had a bunch of back-to-back promos for the Tag Team Battle Royale. It was pretty good, just to kind of hype up that Battle Royale later on in the night.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I actually thought it was very good. I didn't write it down because it was all like bang, 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 just a whole bunch of dudes yelling at the camera real quick. It was not enough for me to write anything down, but I'm sure they put it up somewhere if you guys wanted to go check it out. Next up, we had Lee Moriarty and Big Bill with Stokely Hathaway versus The Acclaimed. And man, The Acclaimed are still so over. I think, you and I were both dead on that these guys are just as over without the belts. But I'm glad we're still on track with possibly getting them, back to the belts. We'll see. But this match was awesome, and this rap by Max Caster, I think this is his all-time best. Um, it might have been the most lines he's ever done. It felt like it was twice as long as any of his raps, and every single line just hit so hard. My favorite line being, I called your girlfriend and she told me you were SAWFT to Big Bill. That was great. I was a huge fan of the SAWFT chants with Enzo. This was awesome from beginning to end for me.
Yeah, I thought the rap was awesome. Like you said, the soft line was great.
Yeah.
Him saying the Stokely penis line was funny. Yeah, no, generally it was good. And look, man, they're the hottest act in wrestling. They
Yep.
just are. Like it's really good. It's great, and they don't need the belts.
No, yeah, they don't need the belts. I'm perfectly fine with putting it back on them at Revolution. Be a big pop at the pay-per-view, but we'll see how it goes. So Big Bill, man, he looked good in this. He's definitely that body transformation. Also helped him move around the ring even faster than he used to. He looks incredible. He hits a big boot to Billy, giving Bowens a scissor me thing in the corner. He hits Bowens with the boot as well. The Guns show up on the outside and attack Daddy Ass. I gotta say, something about them attacking their dad, like, I don't want to say bothers me because it's kind of supposed to for that heel heat, but
Sure.
It does. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, you dastardly douchebags! Like that one really gets under my skin when I see them attack their dad.
Well, again, that's the point. You're being worked.
Yeah.
That's good. It's working.
Absolutely. But the distraction doesn't really work at all. The Acclaim still just kick the shit out of Lee Moriarty. They hit him with the mic drop and get the 1, 2, 3. This was a great match, a great showing by the Acclaimed. Bowens looked amazing here. It really feels like a lot of these Acclaim matches focus on Bowens. He's the one that gets the hot tag. He gets the explosive pop up and yell at the crowd type thing. I'm really into Bowens, man. He's one of my favorite AEW talents over these. What is it? 4 years now he's been here. They're originals, right? Yeah,
they're originals. Bowens, I agree with you. Bowens, I think they kind of how do I want to put this? They kind of let Bowens be the inside the ropes, bell to bell story guy because Caster carries the essence and the character and the gimmick outside of the ring. So I think, and that's what's so great about them as a tag team in the sense that Max can do both and so can Bowens. They both, like Bowens has his part of the gimmick and then Caster has his bell to bell stuff. Absolutely. But when you look at where they really shine, I mean, pre-bell and post-bell, Caster's the guy. And then, when you're in the ring telling the story in the ring, it's usually centered around Bowens. And I think that's really smart and it really works.
Yeah, that's a great point. Absolutely. That new Acclaim jacket on the shop AEW, man. Oh, I think we both posted into the Discord today. That jacket. I'm wearing the FTR jacket. That Acclaimed one. Oh my goodness, that thing looks amazing. If you haven't seen it, go to shop AEW and hit new arrivals, and it will be the first thing up there on new arrivals. Oh my God, that thing is awesome. All right, next up we had Tony Schiavone on the ramp with his guest, or he was announcing his guest, Christian Cage. And before Christian could get anywhere near Tony Schiavone, he was destroyed by Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy beat his ass and brought out 2 chairs. But you never hesitate, Jungle Boy. Hesitation's always going to get you. He hesitated to pull the trigger on the concerto, and Christian hits him with a low blow and then smashes him in the face with a chair shot. Grabs him by his hair and smashes his face down into the chair a whole bunch of times. Jungle Boy gets busted open, and we get security and the refs come out to break this apart. I thought this was great, man. I can't wait to see these guys at Revolution. Did they announce it? Is it happening?
It's not officially announced for Revolution yet.
I'm just assuming, I guess. Yeah, but it should be happening.
Man, so all right, are you ready for this one? I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say it. I'm just gonna pick up the mic. Don't care what the Fed heads say. Christian Cage is better than Edge, and the only reason that Edge is perceived to be better is because Vince McMahon thought Christian Cage's face looked like a rat. That's it. Like, you can't. I look at the work that Edge has done in the past few years, and I look at the work that Christian Cage has done in the last few years. You can't tell me that Edge is better than Christian. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you just can't. I understand that Vince pushed Edge. Edge became the guy after that tag team, as all WWE tag teams do. You know, there's always that guy that's the guy out of that team. And Edge was that guy. And this isn't me hating on Edge, but, like, come on, man. Like, the work that Christian Cage has done in AEW, leaps and bounds. Outside of, like, Edge and John Cena, I can't think of anything that Edge has done that matches what he's done. Just can't. Apart from
I can agree with that. The Edge Randy Orton thing was
stuff,
terrible.
Yeah, like apart from the emotional stuff of like Edge retiring and his injury, like obviously that stuff's special. But like, look, man, like Christian is just that guy. This guy's a genius. This guy is super smart. And he kills it, man. And this segment was excellent. I fucking love this segment. And it was so good. It just Jack Perry looked great. He jumps Christian, like you said, spears him, beats the crap out of him, and then he has that hesitation because this is a guy that he viewed as like a father figure, you know, and so like the concerto is like, I think that this feud is going to end with Jack Perry doing the concerto to Christian. I don't know when the feud's gonna end, but I think that's the end point of the feud. But you know, in this case, he hesitates no matter how badly he hates Christian. Right now, he's not there, and he hesitates, and Christian low blows him, smashes his head into the chair, just completely annihilates this guy, busts him open, and yeah, this was incredible. This was just absolutely an incredible segment.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Definitely makes me want to see these dudes get in the ring after Christian has returned from his injury here, so that's going to be good. Next up, we got a Wardlow video package promo on Samoa Joe taking his hair and his connection to his father. Joe saying, you know, it was to send a message, not to mess with him. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure I like this new haircut for Wardlow. It makes him look like Frankie Kazarian, but all buff. I think it was Natasha nailed it in the Discord. It's exactly the way that I saw it when I first saw him. But you know, it is what it is. It's part of the storyline here. You know, it's fine. Hopefully we'll get that match. You know, soon.
So real quick in the chat, because I'm guessing the Kook did not know this. Yeah, so the Kook says, "What? Wow! Oh my God, Vince is just petty as hell. I knew he judged women, but this is atrocious." So that's actually confirmed that it's true. So I think it was either Christian that said it or other people around them at the time said it. That Vince McMahon disliked Christian because he thought his face looked like a rat's face. Like that's legitimately true. Like he legitimately didn't like Christian for that
That's
reason.
just like legitimate bully stuff, man. Like, come on.
He's such a bully. He's such a bully.
Ah, jeez.
Anyways, yeah,
all right.
That was great. Wardlow and Joe, great. It's very
good. It's gonna be good. All right, next up we had Saraya versus Sky Blue, man, and holy crap, Saraya's new gear looked absolutely incredible. I'm absolutely loving the fact that we got Saraya back into the world of professional wrestling. She's having some good matches. I'm liking this storyline that's going on with her and Tony Storm being absolute heels. You know, Tony Storm gets involved in this match almost immediately. I mean, it was like 10 seconds into the match. She was already up on the apron distracting Sky Blue. We had a really nice suplex to Sky Blue on the outside from Tony Storm while Aubrey was being distracted in the ring there. Sky Blue busted out a really nice submission here tonight. Some people call it the octopus, but I think some people like AJ Lee call that the spider submission or something like that, the spider stretch. Did you see that? Did you notice Sky Blue busting out that move?
I did.
Well, I hope that's you know, maybe a sign of something in the future. I would absolutely lose my shit if I ever saw AJ Lee back in a ring. I don't care where it is. I was a huge AJ Lee fan back in the day, like huge. So that would be incredible. Saraya, Saraya locks in some sort of crazy submission. I don't know what that's called. It looks really painful. There's no opportunity to tap out. Both arms and legs are all wrapped up. So you gotta just tell the ref, no, I can't go anymore. Sky Blue taps out essentially. And, Saraya and Tony Storm go to do their spray paint gimmick where they're going to spray paint an L onto Sky Blue. But Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter show up to make the save. Tony Storm and Saraya run off up the ramp, and Ruby Soho gets in the way of them leaving. And, I thought here when Ruby Soho showed up, we were kind of going to see where Ruby's, allegiance would lie, or at least get a hint. But she just looked at Saraya and Tony Storm and was like, I don't care about you two. And she pointed at Jamie Hayter and she's like, I want the belt. So, I mean, I guess she's going to join Britt and Tony Storm because she really wants the belt, and Jamie Hayter is on the opposite side of this. So it seems like that's where it's heading, but I wish there was more reason other than the belt right now. Don't you?
So this is a good match for starters.
Yes, very good match.
I think that Sky Blue came out of this looking really good, so props to her for that. And the booking really helped with that as well. I get the plan. I see where we're going with this, and I'm okay with it. But my initial response to Ruby Soho showing up and doing what she did with the belt and all that, like completely kayfabe response. I was like, Ruby, can you read the room, please? Like that was honestly, guy. I said that out loud. I was like, Ruby, read the room. Like, this is not about the title right now, but Ruby wants the title. So it's like, okay, like I get it. I get that. But it's just funny because you have this storyline building, and Ruby's just like, I don't care about that. I just want the title. Which, because she's showing how much she doesn't care about it, I'm sure she's going to end up caring about it quite a bit. I mean, it sets up for the pay-per-view. We'll have to see where we go at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really hoping though that we get some direction on where Ruby's actual allegiance is gonna lie. It feels like she's gonna join Tony Storm and Saraya just kind of out of necessity at this point because she's going after the belt. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, next up, we had Bryan Danielson making his way to the ring, and the crowd goes fucking wild, as did I, because I was not expecting this. He looks absolutely incredible. He cuts an amazing promo on MJF, and, man, when MJF's music hits, and Taz is like, oh, thank God. I was getting so tired of listening to Danielson's story. I laughed so hard. This is another reason Taz is a freaking national treasure. This was one of my favorite things ever, because Danielson's promo was amazing. But Taz being like, oh, thank God, I didn't want to hear any more of this. I love Taz, man. He's so good. He adds so much to the commentary. I love that guy.
No, I completely agree. It's just so good.
Dude, yeah. So Ed Weber comes in and says this segment was awesome. And oh my God, was this segment awesome. MJF comes out and basically tells a story about the love of his life leaving him. He told this woman he wanted to marry her and start a family and all of that stuff, and she left him. And, and kind of made you feel for MJF for a few minutes here, almost like you were like, oh man, I actually hope MJF wins this now. He needs that belt. But then he went right back to being, dastardly, horrible MJF and made me hate him again about 2 minutes later, saying he's going to talk to Danielson's children. And Danielson's like, if you say anything about my kids, I will beat the shit out of you. But MJF does it anyway. Danielson does start kicking his ass here in the middle of the ring. Security comes and breaks everything up. We have an awesome brawl with security holding each other back or holding each guy back. One guy breaks away from security, gets a nice shot in. The other guy gets away, gets a nice shot in. MJF bails out of the ring, and Danielson bails out as well and gets a massive running start. And I shit you not, he elbows MJF in the face so hard. I swear to you, I think he actually knocked MJF out. If he didn't, kudos to both of these dudes. It looked as real as you could possibly make that look real. And I swear to you, MJF looked like he was unconscious. If I've ever seen someone be KO'd, I right there, I was like, MJF is out. He's out. But he's probably just like one of the best in the world, as he claims to be. And it was selling amazing, got me, but holy shit, was this segment amazing.
Well, yeah, man, so good. So, so we have so MJF talks about love of his life leaving him, which some people are speculating that he and his fiance actually did break up, which that kind of that really sucks.
Yeah, that does.
However, the Phoenix crowd did not think so. He says that the love of my life left me. I told her I wanted to start a family with her, and she left me. And the crowd chants, "You deserve it."
Yeah, I wrote that too. You deserve it.
Oh, God.
He almost started crying. He was watering up.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple
This
times.
is a very, very real promo from MJF. And he's like, I hate you because people love you. The people love you. You have people that love you, and then he takes this real turn where he's talking about how, like, you have a wife that loves you. You have children that love you, and you come back into this ring after being one of the most concussed and head trauma suffering wrestlers probably in the history of the industry. And you like, how dare you come back and squander what you've been given? And it just adds this level to MJF that's just so, like, I think that MJF's character is so fascinating because it goes beyond just a snake heel. Like, this guy should be like MJF the character, MJF, maybe even MJF the human being, I don't know. He should probably be in therapy. He has a lot of emotional baggage, which causes him to be the person that he is. And I love that. I mean, it kind of dates back to him and CM Punk and and like that was like his villain origin story. And like, I don't know, like, there's something about the character that just feels very real in a sense that, like, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, never really needed to work for anything. He's very talented, very gifted, but he takes these things, his money, his championship, and he uses it to fill, like he said a few weeks ago, he uses it to fill the hole that's in his soul from just the shit that he's had to deal with in his life. And I think that's a really relatable character. I mean, like, him and Hangman, man, they are two sides of the same coin, to be honest. It's really fascinating character development, really fascinating storytelling. Again, that's my shit. I love that type of shit, and it's really good.
Yeah.
And we change gears. MJF starts talking to Danielson's kids. Says that he's gonna, Uncle Max is gonna give Dada early offset CTE. At which case Danielson has enough of it, starts beating the shit out of him. The security guard hilariously failed to stop them, which I think that my dream job would be to be a in kayfabe security guard. Like, absolutely, this is the best job in the world. You just got to go out there and be like, oh, like, oh no.
I'm not sure if you noticed it, but in response to the CTE thing, when Danielson attacked MJF, he hits him directly in the head with the microphone, trying to give him a concussion. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but the irony was not lost on me there. I thought that was hilarious.
And Ed's kind of taking what I was saying. He says, MJF weaves back and forth from I'm better, I'm rich, I'm confident, to I'm insecure, nobody loves me, this title validates me so well, and nobody ever talks about it. Exactly, man. Like, that's what I fucking love. Like, again, look, man, I love pro wrestling. For me, though, it's the characters and the stories that are told that really just get me. And MJF's character, you see it. If you look at it week to week, it shifts. You know, one week he's the guy walking around with the money in his pocket trying to pay someone off to break Danielson's arm. The next week he's talking about all of his insecurities and all of his problems, and it's just really like, I'm sorry, man. There is no storytelling in WWE like this. There's no storytelling, and I don't look. I get the Sammy thing. I get it, but like between MJF and Hangman alone, you could throw like, don't throw the rest of the roster out, but you could throw the rest of the character development of the entire AEW roster out, and those two guys alone have the character development and storytelling that is just truly special, remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, I won't deny they've hit something special with the Sammy thing, but you know, even a blind rooster finds a kernel now and then. You know what I mean? But this has been incredible here.
They missed the layup.
Yeah, they really did miss that layup, man.
Bro,
like,
it was right there for them. And I, you know, I went into the Discord after the show and I was like, I don't know what you guys expected. I don't know.
My thing is, people are like, no, you know, Roman shouldn't have lost there because Cody needs to beat Roman. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. There is no historical evidence for what you're saying at all. Hogan beat the Iron Sheik, who was a freaking temporary champion. Like, none of that stuff has any historical. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just dumb. It's really dumb. And like, I'll never forget, because I saw on Twitter, and I'll never forget feeling this feeling, because I've been there and I've experienced it. The look on the fans' face in Montreal when Sammy loses, right? It is not the look of heat. It is not the look of, wow, what an amazing story. It is the look of utter disappointment. Like, the look on these fans' face, right? And like, I know they on the show, you know, we say fuck the Fed, and like we call their fans, you know, not necessarily dumb, because I understand what it's like to be stuck in that loop, you know. But it's like, man, I can't help but pity them at least a little bit, because it's like, it's bad, man. Like,
most of the time you're sitting through 2.5 hours of crap to get to the Sammy and Roman segment. That's pretty much what's going on. Like, but they missed the opportunity here. There was no reason to not let Sammy win, and you could have Cody beat Sammy. There's no reason that would have hurt anyone. Dude, I'm suspicious now that they're not even going to have Cody beat Roman. I think they're going to go for 1,000 days. It's over 900 days of Roman.
Yeah, I know. And it's, man, what a terrible reign it's been. Because it's like, I saw a graphic the other day that, like, again, Jericho, when Jericho was the Ring of Honor champion, he defended his title more times than Roman did in the 900 days. It's like,
yeah,
Jericho was a Ring of Honor champion for 2 months.
The worst part about it is Roman's reign could have been ended like 5 times, but he was saved by the bloodline every time. So when you're trying to call him out to me as like the greatest champion of all time, and I'm like, no. I'm like, just because he's been it for 900 days doesn't make me feel that way. Like, I don't know.
It's not about the time spent. It's about what you do with the time. It's like,
you know, like I said, there's no reason why Sammy could not have won there. It would be a moment that people would talk about for decades to come. But no, they want Cody to beat Roman at WrestleMania, and people talk about it for what, a year? People might talk about it for a year. This would have been talked about for decades if Sammy had beaten Roman in Montreal. Decades.
And honestly, it also would have been a testament to WWE if they had done the right thing and had Sammy win. Because here's the thing, right? So if you have Cody walk into WrestleMania, and you have Cody who beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, all you're saying is that this, like, you needed to steal from AEW to get a talent that was over enough.
Yeah.
To go in there and beat the only guy that you've pushed for 5 years.
You're telling your entire roster, hey guys, sorry, none of you were good enough to beat Roman. We had to go to AEW and steal one of their guys. Sorry.
But to be honest, that's what they've always done, Jeff. They've always done that. It's like, hey, you guys aren't good enough to main event the show. We need Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
We need
and
Goldberg.
why do you guys, you know, if you think we're just talking shit like on the E, why do you think that they are still calling their roster every week? Somebody from AEW is getting a phone call from the E of like, hey, can you come back, please? Hey, can you come back, please? Because they're seeing, you know, the success they're having.
So, like, again, like, I'm always going to be, I don't have sympathy for the fans, for WWE fans. I don't have sympathy. Like, you choose it. Like, look, man, and the kook says, why do fans keep going back? Like, it's hard to break that cycle when you are.
Jordan says brain worms.
No, I mean, like, we can, like, let's be kind of serious about it, because, like, I've been in the loop. You were in the loop. Like,
Yeah.
when you grow up watching something, when you grow up and it's an integral part of your childhood, a part of your younger development years, your teenage years, it's hard to kind of turn your back on it. So
Yep.
I can sympathize. I really can. I mean, like, obviously we're gonna crack jokes, we're gonna criticize, and we're gonna be honest. But I don't know, man.
If I,
Maybe I'm just feeling it because I know what those fans felt when Sammy lost. Like, I felt it. Like, I love Sami Zayn, but, like, I felt it. I remember when my guy didn't win, and I was told, so and so is our guy, and then they would go out on TV and say, well, the fans get to choose. Fans don't get to choose. They don't have any power.
if I was like a hardcore WWE fan, I would be actually pissed off that Sami Zayn was right there, homegrown talent, ready to take the title from Roman. Finally, somebody within the company, holy shit, accidentally became a fucking overstar. But no, we're going to take this character from AEW, not even change his character back to dashing Cody Rhodes or Stardust, like Jordan said. We're going to keep the exact Cody Rhodes that they had over there, and we're going to have him come and dethrone Roman. How does that make any sense to you? Like, how would that make... I don't know how that makes WWE fans happy. They're like, yeah, we got Cody and he's going to win it. And I'm like, yeah, Cody's going to win it. Do you realize that? Like, listen to yourself.
Well, it is what it is. But so there was actually a little bit of a funny thing that went on today. So Sean Ross Sapp, I didn't read the whole Fightful report, but he said that a WWE talent, contacted him, and this talent is swearing that Vince is back in control of creative. And then Wade Keller said that somebody outright told him, no, Vince isn't back.
Yeah. Real quick, Ed says that they couldn't do this six weeks before their Super Bowl. Actually, I completely disagree, and I'll be honest, Brian Alvarez did a video on it. If you go to their FTW or whatever it is YouTube channel, there is a video. He broke it down of every single time somebody has lost a long title reign, and it's sometimes been right before WrestleMania. It has never hurt anybody in any way, shape, or form. So they could have easily done it, and nothing would have been hurt.
Yeah, not at all. You could have had Sammy win that, and then you could have had him face Cody, and then, like,
you could have made it a triple threat.
So I'm of the opinion that, like, you can't just keep doing that. Like, you can't do a triple threat every time it's WrestleMania and there's a guy that the fans like. I actually don't think
best.
Triple threat. Well, no, I'm just saying I don't think the triple threat would have been the right way here, because
I agree as well. Yeah,
they do it they really do it every other year. It's like, oh, there's this guy that the fans really this is the guy that the fans really want to be in the main event. We don't really want him there, but the fans are complaining, so we're going to make him an afterthought and throw him in there. Daniel Bryan is the one exception to that in WrestleMania 30. But even Daniel Bryan against Roman and Edge at Mania, like, they do this all the time. It's like, okay.
Jordan just made a really awesome statement in the chat there. They hate AEW so much. The biggest star in their company is an AEW guy. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, let's move on here. But that Danielson and MJF segment was absolutely incredible. If they put that up on their social media platforms, you got to go watch that. This was absolutely incredible. Next up was a Jamie Hayter promo in the back with Tony Schiavone. Cuts a great promo on Ruby and Saraya. It really looked like she cut a promo and challenged both of them for a triple threat. Is that how that came across to you?
Basically, real quick, Jeff. I'm sorry, I don't want to go backwards, but John Brenner said something in the chat that I really wanted to comment on. So John says, I'm sorry, but putting the title on Sammy right now would have been ridiculously dumb, and I'm a huge Sammy mark. But that Mania main event has to be based around Roman and the 3-year title reign. Anything else would be objectively dumb. So here's the kicker, right, John? I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Here's the problem. Don't book that match. That's it. That's the problem. And see, this is where it is. This is where we go when we get to this. This is what they do. Their booking is atrocious. So you book yourself into these situations that just hurts the booking in the long term. I agree with you that Roman should walk into Mania as the champion. However, you can't have Sammy versus Roman in Montreal at Elimination Chamber, because that's the kind of match, that's the kind of booking that you're putting yourself into, that Sammy needs to walk out of with the championship. It's bad booking because you book yourself into a corner. You could have done, honestly, what you could have done. Here's what I would have done, and it's way better. So I would have had, even though I don't think the triple threat would have been the way to go.
No.
I would have had Sammy and Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber in Montreal, forced to tag with each other. And you could either go one of two routes here. You could go against the Usos, or you could go against... Here's something, if you want to do something really interesting and unique. You could have a Sammy and KO versus Roman and Cody, right? And they have to work together. And WWE loves that storyline, the have to work together thing. So this is even booking to their strength.
Can they coexist?
Yeah, the WWE loves doing that. So do that, and then have it where you can have an interesting stipulation where Cody's Mania title shot is on the line in the match.
Yeah.
And like Roman, it's a somewhat dynamic booking. It puts them all in a really interesting spot, and then you have Sammy and KO beat Cody and Roman, because like again, I understand, I hate Cody Rhodes, but like, you gotta have Sammy beat Roman. He's the hottest act in their company, the hottest act they've had in years. But so anyways, we can go forward. I just wanted to comment on what John said. Yes, John, I agree with you. They should not have booked that match, period. That's the problem.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, we had that promo by Jamie Hayter. After that, we got the 10-team battle royale started kind of out of nowhere. No entrances for anybody, and everybody was just outside the ring, and everybody piled in. We could hear extremely loud Sierra Miedo chants even when Jamie Hayter was doing her promo. So this crowd was massively behind the Lucha Brothers. And I'll admit, I thought this was a easy victory for Lucha Brothers. I thought for sure these dudes were winning, but fairly early on, we get Preston Vance and Roosh eliminating Penta. Vance had been eliminated, and then he held on to Penta's legs from the outside, got Penta eliminated. But Fenix stayed in for quite a while. But once Fenix was eliminated by Jeff Jarrett, I'm not too sure how much everybody was still into this match here. Once Jeff Jarrett tossed Fenix out, I was kind of deflated a little bit. I still think it was a great match. We got a really awesome, 2v1 with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Trent for our final 3 in the match. They tried to make you think like Trent was going to get it, he was going to pull it out, but big Satnam Singh on the outside, he saved Jeff Jarrett a minimum of twice, I think it was. And they get Trent out of the ring, and Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal win the Battle Royale to join the Revolution tag team match. What did you think of this?
Conflicted.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Because, so number one, here's the thing. I thought Aussie Open was actually going to win this match. They got thrown out pretty early. So I was like, okay, so I guess it will be the Lucha Bros. And then Lucha Bros get tossed out. So I'm like, okay, this just became very interesting. Because at the time, it was Best Friends, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and like 2 other teams who I don't recall. I think Top Flight was still in it, and who was the other guy? What was the other team? Anyway, doesn't matter. Man, I have a bias because I'm such a Best Friend fan. Such a Best Friend fan. I was so disappointed that Best Friends didn't win this. That Trent didn't pull this out. I think that they are one of the longest reigning over AEW acts to not win any gold at all. I mean, and I just think that they've done so much. I think you got to give them a tag title run, or at least give them a shot again. Felt like a missed opportunity here. I'm not gonna shit on Jeff Jarrett. I think Jeff Jarrett's doing great work on screen in AEW. But when they won this match, I couldn't help but be underwhelmed. I was like, well, they've already had like 3 or 4 shots at the tag titles. So like, unless they're winning the tag titles, why would you go with them in this match? Like, I understand that they have storyline like connections to the Acclaimed, but I felt like we were kind of already moving past that. So it seemed kind of weird to go backwards to get these guys in this match. And I mean, we got to see what happens next week with the Casino tag team, which I would assume a babyface team is going to win. Because if another heel team wins, the Acclaimed are probably getting the titles back.
Yeah.
I would
Now,
think.
did you see the shadows on the the graphic they put up? It kind of had some silhouettes of 2 people. One of those silhouettes looked a lot like Pac, but the other one was somebody with a shaved head. So
The silhouettes mean nothing, man. Don't
true.
Don't overthink the silhouettes.
It was just it was definitely like a dude with Pac's hair though. It was really odd that they would use such a very, easily recognizable silhouette. But I could easily be wrong too.
Admittedly, I mean, I'm kind of expecting FTR to win next week.
Are they back?
They're not confirmed to be back, but I mean, that's my guess.
That would be nice if they're the Jokers or something.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. So it's like, yeah, I'm a little underwhelmed. I'm a little disappointed. I'm sure the match will be fine, but this match is kind of going in a way where I'm like, did this have to be a 4-way? I don't know. Is Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal adding to this match? Is kind of my big thing. And I feel like they did such a good job here to give they did such a good job booking the end of this match to give it to Trent that I think they should have done it. They should have pulled the trigger, and even if you don't have best friends win at the pay-per-view,
yeah,
I'd give them that spot. I think that's a well-deserved spot for them. Plus you do so much to make Trent look like he's going to win. Like, you overdid it that Trent was going to win.
True. Yep.
And then you kind of you do the swerve there where it's just not enough. Satnam is the X factor, and I get it. I'm a little disappointed though.
Yeah, I felt the same way. As soon as I realized the Lucha Brothers weren't winning it, I was a little deflated. And then I saw Trent, and I was like, okay, this can still be, Trent can still pull this out. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not against Jeff Jarrett winning here. You know what I mean? I do think they can add to the match just a bit. His guitar is always an add to any match. I love seeing someone get hit with a guitar. So
I think it also, another issue that I have is AEW's tag team division is so honest to God, just stacked from top to bottom, that it's just kind of a weird decision that okay, so right now we have this 4-way dance match for the tag titles, and out of all the tag teams in AEW that have not really gotten a chance, that should get a chance, there are so many tag teams that you could throw into this match here and it makes sense, because at the casino one's going to be, it's probably going to be the Joker, it's probably going to be a surprise, probably FTR. That's my big guess. But so my thing is, there's so many tag teams that you could just throw into this spot and still accomplish. Because I can't see Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett winning the titles. I can't see it. I'm really struggling to see that happen.
I can see someone eating a guitar though. That's all I want.
I guess, and I can see. I don't know. I would have given another team this spot here. I think Best Friends could have taken the spot, and the match would have been great. This definitely seems like the kind of match that would favor them doing something a little putting someone else in this match, but instead they go with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal again. So
yeah. The Coug threw out a really awesome trivia question, but I'm sorry, Jordan threw out a really awesome trivia question of who invented the strut, and the Coug answered it in 0.01 seconds of Jackie Fargo. That was the fastest answer I've ever seen, Coug. He is like our encyclopedia of wrestling history. I love it. All right, so next up we had the House of Black promo on the Elite. This was an awesome promo from Malachi Black and Brody King, and then Buddy actually spoke. We don't hear Buddy speak too often, and he calls them out for a face-to-face meeting on Friday, so that's going to be freaking awesome. Am I weird to kind of pop to hear Buddy actually speak? Does he speak more than my brain is thinking, or?
No, I don't think so. He doesn't speak.
It's
too
rare,
often.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like rare, but it's usually Malachi or Brody or Julia are the talking points more so.
Yeah.
No, I thought this was it was an excellent promo. It was really well done, really dope. My only critique is I feel like we're going to Revolution with this trios match. Kind of interesting that they're only doing like a 2 week. I mean, like there's been more than 2 weeks of build, but like I think there's some matches you could do leading up to the pay-per-view. I think there's some promos you can do leading up to the pay-per-view. I mean, like I would have Kenny wrestle Malachi. I would have Kenny wrestle Buddy. I would have the Bucks take on Buddy and Brody. I think that there's a good amount of matches here, and you only got 2 weeks to do it now. If
Yeah. Let's
assuming
see what happens on Rampage. I mean, they're gonna have a face-to-face of some sort. Probably gonna have a little bit of a brawl.
Very true. I mean, I guess there's still 2 weeks to go.
Yeah. All right, well, real quick, welcome to everybody in chat. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. If you want to spawn your avatar down below, you just got to say something in chat, say what's up. Next up, we had Tony Khan with his big announcement with Renee Paquette. And he says, you know what? I think one of our amazing talent should be the one to make this announcement. So he points out Adam Cole off to the side, who joins with Renee Paquette to make the announcement here of a brand new 1-hour show called AEW All Access, starting in March. It's going to be a behind-the-scenes look at the wrestlers and their stories of, how they got here and, their journey to the matches that they're having throughout the year and stuff like that. Now, some people don't think this was enough to be called like a big announcement, but you got to look at it from a business standpoint. This is announcing another hour-long program, another television show for their brand. This is actually a bigger deal than a lot of people are making it out to be. I thought this was a decently big announcement here, and I'm actually excited. When we do our reviews in the future, we're going to have something that we can kind of have on in front of us, and if anything cool's going on, maybe we can share it. You know what I mean? It's going to be I like it.
See, well, so number one, they said an important announcement, not a big announcement.
Okay, that is important. So yeah.
Yes, very important. Like you said, this is an extra hour of TV for them. Number one, it further strengthens the relationship with WBD, which is very important. You can tell
Warner
that
Brothers told
like
Slap Fight to go F themselves.
Yeah, like Power Slap, get out of here. AEW,
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Again, it just means great things for the company. Those reality shows, they do really well in the female demo. You're likely to bring in some of those female fans, who maybe they watch WWE, or maybe they just like watching these reality shows and they like the characters and then they tune in AEW. These types of shows they're very helpful. And again, like it's going to get out its eyes on the talent outside of the ring, which is always important. It's more TV time. It strengthens the relationship of the brand with the network. It's just all around. It's really great news. It's really important for them, and it really helps them. The Coug said it. Warner Brother Discovery, they clearly love AEW, and which is a huge win for Tony Khan. And it's a great announcement. It is. And the thing is, though, Ed, I would say it's a major announcement too. It is. Like, here's the thing. Because Juhas in the chat was disappointed. He's like, I thought it was going to be Forbidden Door 2. I would have been underwhelmed with the announcement being Forbidden Door 2 is June 24th of this year, because we already knew that Forbidden Door 2 was happening. Like, we already were aware. Does anyone really think that they're not going to do Forbidden Door this year?
Yeah, announcing the date for a pay-per-view, I don't think would have been a major announcement. Like, because they did say it's happening no matter what. Like, they did kind of promise it to us.
4 months out. Like, 4 months from now? Like, I don't want to know about a pay-per-view that I'm not going to 4 months from now. Probably going to emanate out of Chicago again. Like, no. Like,
oh, I get it.
I don't know. I think that this was a great announcement for them. Does it help the inside the ropes product? No. But if you're looking at the company, if you're looking at a macro scale, and you're looking at the company and its well-being and the health of it and the growth of it, this is a great announcement for them, and they should be very excited. And I'm excited too. That being said, Jeff, I don't want to talk about the show when we're on the podcast, because I want to watch the show after the podcast or the next day. So
probably, yeah.
That was my one thing. I was like, damn, did it have to be after Dynamite? Couldn't it have been like before Rampage or like after, like, I don't know, somewhere else. Like I would have like taken anything else. I was like, damn it, not after Dynamite, because that's when we do our podcast, and then I got to go to bed. So it means I'm going to be watching it on Thursday afternoons, which is fine. But like, obviously, Twitter's going to talk about it, so I'm going to have to find out about stuff. Twitter first. The time slot's not for
We'll
me.
see.
Other than that, it was good. Great.
All right, and Adam Cole also announces that right before the premiere of that first episode in March will be the Dynamite that he returns to. So Adam Cole will be on Dynamite in March, right before the premiere of that AEW All Access show. So that'll be cool too as well. Welcome back, Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. So
next up, we had the Guns backstage with Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett. They were just plotting, asking each other to do some favors for each other to get rid of some problems. We'll see where that goes. And go ahead.
Real quick, just back to the chat. So Ed Weber says, I wouldn't say this is major. WWE would announce something like this by having Michael Cole doing it coming back from commercial. There's a big difference between a company that's trying to build its brand and only been around for about 4 years, and a company that's been doing it for 50 plus and has millions of shows over its 50-year history.
Yeah, like if you go back to the WWE Network days, like there was like 30 different TV shows they had on there. So to them, this really wouldn't be a big deal, but for AEW, it is.
Right, and Ed's also saying to him, Fight Forever release date would have been major. See, I don't think so, because maybe it's just because I follow video games more. But like, I already kind of have an idea of where the release window is. April.
Yeah, it's gonna be April.
It's gonna be April. So I would also not consider that super major news either. Kook says, Roman, Jeffrey, anyone else, when AEW does Forbidden Show down in Mexico in the future, we need to go. I would love to. It's all about the money.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, but so yeah, anyways, we can carry on.
All right, next up was the main event, Jon Moxley versus Evil Uno. And like you said earlier at the top of the hour, Evil Uno is back, baby. Man, Evil Uno looks absolutely awesome here. Just goes right at Mox 100 miles an hour to start off this match immediately. At one point, Mox tries to rip Evil Uno's mask off, and he gets a nice chunk of the side of his mask ripped open. Made it look really cool for the rest of the match. Loved this new mask from Evil Uno, by the way. I had never seen this mask before. At one point, Mox does the curb stomp to Evil Uno on the steps. This was almost exactly the way that Wheeler Yuta was busted open versus Mox. So as soon as it happened, I was like, ooh, are we gonna bust up open Evil Uno here like we did Yuta? And sure enough, they cut over to Evil Uno, and he is just pouring blood, man. Like, woo, this dude was bleeding something fierce. And we got an absolute amazing second half of this match. Evil Uno hit 2 pile drivers onto Mox for a 2.9 count. Mox wound up locking in the bulldog choke. Blood was just pouring everywhere out of Uno's face, all over Moxley, all over the ring. Uno did everything he could to try to get out of it. Mox turned it into a rear naked choke. Evil Uno goes out in a freaking blaze of glory, by the way, covered in blood everywhere. And Evil Uno goes out and they call the match. Moxley wins. The Cowboy did stay out of the match. Hangman did not interfere. He let everything go down the way it went down. But Moxley would not let go of the rear naked choke. He was just squeezing the blood out of Uno's face, man. It was pretty crazy the way he was doing that. And the Dark Order comes out for the save, and then the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club comes out. And then finally Hangman comes out to some absolute awesome cowboy shit chants. Hangman beats up Mox for a second, and he pulls out some barbed wire, wraps it around his hands like brass knuckles, and opens Moxley's freaking forehead up like just as bad as Evil Uno, basically. This was an amazing end to Dynamite. I thought this was absolutely fantastic. Amazing showing by Evil Uno. Absolutely deserved the main event. I'm so happy for my guy. I am even going to crown Evil Uno the new Dark Order champion I'm gonna hold the belt for you for tonight, Uno. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can. And my God, this match was incredible. The finish was incredible. All of it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I think Evil Uno really pulled out all the stops here. He did an excellent job. This was a really great match, incredible match. Really enjoyed it. I think they did a great job with the blade. They had Mox squeezing him, and he was just gushing. Uh, that was pretty gnarly. So yeah, I thought this was a really great showing from Uno, and I really, really hope we see more. It's great that they finally have something for Uno to do. I feel really good for the guy. I feel happy for him. He's really talented. Never questioned his talent or how good he was. It's just they got to give him something worth doing. So yeah, we saw that tonight, and I thought it was incredible. And all in all, it was a really awesome show of Dynamite. It was just great show. I mean, I didn't like the end of the tag match or the tag battle royal, but other than that, excellent show.
Yeah, I was gonna say that actually myself. This was for me. This was like one of the better episodes in a long time, and the only downside was the end of that tag team battle royale. You know, and you can't let the end of one match dictate the way you felt about the entire show. You know what I mean? Like just because the guys that I wanted to win didn't win. That's it is what it is.
Yeah.
But great episode of Dynamite here. What do we have set up for Rampage this week? What have they announced so far? While I hold this 20 pounds of fucking belt, Jesus.
So this is gonna be a really good Rampage. So this Friday on Rampage, the Young Bucks will be taking on Aussie Open.
Yeah.
Action Andretti will be taking on Sammy Guevara.
Okay.
Willow Nightingale will be taking on Tony Storm.
Willow.
Lance Archer returns and will be in action. And we will hear from Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes.
Okay.
Coming up this Wednesday on Dynamite, the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. Hook has been reinstated and will face a member of Stokely Hathaway's choosing, which I assume it's going to be the Firm. The way that they worded this on the title card was weird because it says a member of Stokely Hathaway's choosing, but I think it meant to say a member of the Firm. Stokely Hathaway's. I don't know. Anyways, we got the gist of it.
Yeah.
With more matches to be announced for Rampage, currently announced for AEW Revolution on March 5th. We have the AEW World Championship 60-minute Iron Man match, Bryan Danielson versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. The TNT Championship, Samoa Joe defending against Wardlow. The AEW Women's World Championship was confirmed tonight for a three-way dance, Jamie Hayter defending against Saraya and Ruby Soho. We have a Texas death match between Jon Moxley, Hangman Adam Page. Everyone's banned from ringside when Chris Jericho takes on Ricky Starks. And we have a four-way dance for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Guns defending against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and the Acclaimed, and a team that we will find out next Wednesday on Dynamite.
Nice. Jordan says that's a crazy belt. Didn't know they made that. Well, AEW did not make this. This is a custom belt by a gentleman out of Pakistan. Actually, I speak with him like personally. He makes custom belts. If you need anything, if anyone wants to hit me up in Discord, I'll give you his info. He makes all kinds of really cool belts. So yeah, he's cool. All right, man. I think that is it for tonight. Anything else that you wanted to go over? I think we hit our WWE points already.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think I'm pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you everybody who joined in here with us tonight in chat. Jordan, have a good one. Coog, you as well. We had the coach. We had all kinds of people here tonight, man. That was awesome. We had Ed Weber. We had, man, I'm missing some people here. I know it. I think there was John in here. I can't find any of his chat. Yeah, John Brenner. Thank you as well for joining us. But until next time, everybody, we will see you on Friday night. Top guys out.